So this week's cookie recipe is a simple recipe. It's another one that you can do with your kids. It's cooked on the stove top. You may have even heard of it before. I've been making it for years, and I usually do it around Christmas because my family, especially my brother, really likes it. It's either referred to as chocolate macaroons or coconut haystacks. We always talk about them as haystacks. So what you need for this is half a cup of milk, 2 cups of white sugar, so it's really sweet. We've got half a cup of butter. We have a little bit of salt and vanilla. We have 2 cups of Quaker rolled oats. I use the quick rolled oats. We have 6 tablespoons of the cocoa and a package of unsweetened medium desiccated coconut. And we're first going to put in a very large pot. We're going to, on the stove, put the milk, the white sugar, and the butter and bring that to a boil. Now, while the pot is starting to warm up and boil, you have to do the rest of it quite quickly because once that's boiling, you have to throw everything else in. So what I like to do is I like to just put everything into a bowl. So I've got my coconut, I just make sure it's open. And then I'm going to put 6 tablespoons of the cocoa in the bowl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Got my vanilla nearby. We've got our oats. And I need 2 cups of rolled oats. My 1 cup. And 2 cups. And then we wait for it to boil. As you can see, it's starting to roll to a nice boil. So I would take that off the heat right now and start adding the other ingredients. And once you've mixed in all the ingredients, this is what you're going to have. And it will harden as it sits and dries out over time. So once you have the pot boiling and you've thrown everything else in the ingredient wise and you've stirred it up really well, you're going to take that off the heat immediately, and then you're going to have laid out beforehand either foil or parchment paper or something to put the cookies on. You're going to take them out by teaspoonful. So the cookies are really sweet. You don't need a big cookie. So a teaspoon is a good size, and you're just going to lay them out in teaspoon size on that parchment paper. You're going to let them dry. If you want to add a little color to them, you can. I used to use red and green Smarties. I found that putting one of those on top of them, the colors didn't last, and they looked really quite pathetic because the colors would sort of bleach out. So I wouldn't suggest to use the red and green Smarties because you're going to be freezing them. So you can try using the red green sprinkles, the candy sprinkles, anything like that. Put them on before the cookies start to harden. This is all really quick because they start to harden pretty much immediately. And you should get about 4 dozen, depending on the size of your cookies. But a teaspoon per cookie should give you about 4 dozen. So that's really a good amount if you're going to share, which is what I do every year. So that is chocolate haystack cookies. And we'll see you again next week for another cookie extravaganza.